A lot of beginners and non-profitable traders fail to understand the power of psychology in the forex market than just mere strategy. They focus more on getting strategy upon strategy, trying to look for a very good strategy to be able to milk the market, to be able to be profitable in the market. But at the end of the day, they end up not getting the expected outcome. They end up not getting what they want. And that's where you see what they call the cycle of doom. I was once in that situation whereby I always looked for strategies upon strategies that would work. Have you ever felt that the market is hunting your stop loss? Yes, it happens to everyone. The reason is because you fail to understand that behind just having a strategy, you need to focus more on the psychology, because the psychology has a very important role to play in the forex market. In fact, the psychology of the market carries, like I said before, carries about 80% of the market. Strategies that are just like 20%. What you should be focusing more on is your psychology. Psychology will make you know that before a market moves from point A to point B, there is always a liquidity hunt. The market is going to hunt a liquidity. That's why it's going from point A to point B. If you understand that psychology and you follow your rules, you can be able to make the market and be profitable in the market. A lot of things to consider when we're talking about psychology. A lot of things to talk. I will just I may not say everything here, but the first thing you need to do in psychology, in building your psychology of the forex market, you need to first of all map out your rules and follow your rules, no matter the situation, no matter the outcome. Always stick to your rules and always believe in your strategy, because strategy is not the solution. Jumping from one strategy to another is not the solution, but the ability for you to be able to know a lot of strategies and know how to use them at the right time, that's the main thing. So sometimes you may be in the market and you'll be like, this strategy was working for me, but all of a sudden you start not seeing that strategy playing out again in the market. Or maybe you have a particular strategy. Let us say you always use trend line as a strategy to enter the market, and you end up not seeing trend line in the market again, and you'll be like, this market, I'm not seeing it again. Then you keep on forcing trend lines that were not supposed to be trend line in the market just because you want to be in the market. That's where you already going it wrong, because that's where psychology comes in. As a trader, two things are involved. If you are not able to get a lot of strategies, so you can be able to know the right strategy to use at the right time. What you just need to do is to always stick to your strategy. So if at the end of the day, maybe in 2 weeks, just only once you saw your strategy, then stick to that. But if you really want to be a trader that trade always, that like me, I'm a daily trader. For you to be able to keep up with a trade like a daily trader, you need to know a lot of strategy, and you need to know when to use it, because at every point in time the market hunts a particular strategy. Nobody will tell you this, but at every point in time the market hunts a particular strategy. So you need to know the strategy that works at the moment. So scalpers and daily traders know what I'm talking about. As a daily trader or as a scalper, the way you trade should be different from someone that trades just once in a month or once in a week, because you have to know the particular strategy that works at a particular time. That's why as a trader, you may see me using structures today you see me, next day you see me using price action, the other day you see me using conversion, you see me using trend lines, and sometimes you see me using conversion triangles, sometimes you see me using triangles, sometimes you see me using change of SMC, sometimes you see me using CRT rules, sometimes you see me using news, like I use fundamental news, sometimes you even see me using parabolic SAR, I use fractals, I use Fibonacci retracement, I use a lot of strategies. Just everything just matters on the time and when to use it. So thank you for listening. I just want those that feel that the forex market is like a scam or forex market is hard, those that trade, they're all saying like this and that. No, you should not be discouraged. If you are a trader, if you are a trader, don't be discouraged. If you are a beginner, don't be discouraged. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to be consistent and be disciplined psychologically. Bye, guys.